toward the broken in the light. Am I hurting? Am I sad? Should I stay or should I go? I've forgotten how to tell. Did I?
This is the Novus Orbis library, the Noel, in common parlance. They are the cogs that keep the wheels of governance turning in the most... for fuck's sake. Trying to keep up that voice arts. They are the cogs that keep the wheels of governance turning in the most of the hierarchical cities across the planet. A world order, though you'd be unwise to call it with that within earshot. They are also referred to as the library, thanks to the staggering number of grimoires they've managed to collect. Grimoires use the ether to activate the combination of sorcery and technology inherent within the Ars Magnus. It goes without saying that the vast array of grimoires at their disposal grants the library immense military power. This is but one of the many offices within the NOL headquarters. Major Jin Kisaragi's pen flies across document after document, the disgust on his face making clear his thoughts on the pile of papers before him. Jin Kisaragi is one of the youngest majors the NOL has ever seen, known as the hero of Ikariga for his exploits during the Ikariga Civil War. He is commander of the 4th Thaumaturgist Squadron of the Novus Orbis Librarian Praetorian Guard. For all of his valor and military accolades, although his life has been a haze of endless meetings and mind-numbing paperwork ever since his promotion.
Lieutenant Noel Vermillion reporting for duty, Major. May I come in?
Jin frowns at the sound of her voice. His thoughts stray. Noel Vermillion. Noel is no stranger to Jin. She serves as his ministerial secretary, and they knew each other back in their academy days. Still, there's something about her that always sours Jin's mood. She's never done him ill, far from it in fact. Her face just shakes loose something within him. He doesn't know what it is, but he can feel how precariously it teeters when she looks at him. It is for this very reason that he never looks her in the eye.
Enter.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I've just received the files from intelligence regarding that attack on one of our sister branches. Here they are. They, sent along a message, too. They think both of the NOL facilities were hit by the same assailant. One man, acting alone. They'd like your take on the situation, though.
One man acting alone, you say?
Jin extends his hand, demanding the files from her. She nervously obliges him. He flips open the files without so much as a glance in her direction.
This is...
Ragnar the Blood Edge, sir. He's an SS-class criminal who's come to the attention of the higher-ups.
Ragnar?
The, Blood Edge. Yes. Intelligence has made his whereabouts a priority. According to their latest data, he seems to be en route to the 13th hierarchical city, Kagutsuchi.
Ragnar. Ragnar the Blood Edge. Oh, this is rich. And just when I thought I was about to die of boredom!
Major Kisaragi? Are you...
Dismissed!
Huh?
You're dismissed, Lieutenant. You can leave, so please do.
Right. I'll just be going then.
I never thought you'd amount to anything. I guess you proved me wrong, eh, Mr. SS-class criminal? Time for a little reunion, brother.
The train station is a terribly rowdy place, as places of its ilk are wont to be. For servicing the entire city, the train keeps a relentless schedule, pulling into and rolling out of its stops like clockwork. The station sees more cargo than passengers disembarking, a failing some of uniformed staffers inspect the influx of goods. It is the very last day of December. A warm breeze filtered across his face as he gazed into the distance, the artificial climate control having trumped winter's disposition.
Kagutsuchi, 13th hierarchical city. So, this is where you skulked off to.
He left the station and headed for downtown Kagutsuchi without delay.
I finally made it.
An Ars Magnus airship sits moored in the harbour for such vessels near the top of the mountain. Though it... wait, what? Yeah, right. A large Magus airship sits moored in the harbour for such vessels near the top of the mountain. Though it looks like something plucked straight out of the pages of a science fiction novel, Noelle has other matters on her mind as she disembarks.
Ow! My back hurts. And my butt's gone numb.
The long flight has taken its toll, leaving her feeling sluggish. She tries to rub life back into her tense muscles. She takes in her surroundings.
So, this is Kagutsuchi.
The port is clearly under NOL jurisdiction. It's spotless and guards are posted on every corner. So far, the 13th hierarchical city doesn't strike Noelle as being too much different than NOL headquarters, where she spends the bulk of her time. As such, it feels familiar somehow, but perhaps that will change as she ventures inwards. Holding her hat atop her head to keep the mountain gusts from stealing it, she makes her way towards the city proper. Noelle Vermilion, her rank lieutenant, more specifically a Praetorian Guard of the Novus Orbis Librarium. Missions of this caliber and the chance to leave headquarters it necessitates are rare for her indeed.
What's the good word, Lieutenant Vermilion? Cat got your tongue? Or did you just forget my name?
Captain Hazama! I'm so sorry. You just surprised me, that's all.
Noelle sees Hazama pop out from behind her, from the corner of her eye. He is a captain, which makes him Noelle's superior, technically speaking, of course. That said, the reality of the situation isn't so cut and dry. She is a member of the elite squadron tasked with the most grueling of missions, while Hazama is a spy working for the intelligence division, well outside her specific chain of command.
How many times must I tell you, Noelle? There's no need for such formality. Don't worry about rank and protocol, not with me. Let's just take it easy,
Take it easy. Right.
And why not? We're working on the same mission, and we play for the same team, generally speaking. We'll probably be here for a while.
The mission.
Noelle looks down, her brows knit with worry. Noelle and Hazama have come to Kagutsuchi to track down Jin Kisaragi, who went AWOL a few days ago. This is the mission of which Hazama speaks so casually. There is nothing pleasant about having to find and apprehend your immediate superior for desertion.
Just to confirm, Major Kisaragi's personality shifted at the mention of Ragna the Blood Edge. Isn't that right?
Yes. I mean, as far as I could tell, he started laughing maniacally and kicked me out of his office.
Kisaragi. The Jin Kisaragi cackling like a loon? It beggars belief. It really does.
But he really did.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. Far be it from me to call you a liar. Incidentally, you were supposed to have investigated Ragna the Blood Edge.
What? Are you serious?
As a heart attack. Of course, that particular batch of orders never made it past the desk of your erstwhile major, so there's no way you could have known. I wouldn't worry about it any.
I never suspected.
I'm positive that Kisaragi's sudden desertion has to do with this Ragna chap. If we head over to the local NOL branch, I'm sure we'll run into him.
What makes you say that?
Ragna targets libraries. Sure, maybe he's departing from form and he came here to check out Kagutsuchi's nightlife. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's out to cause a little NOL carnage. And when he gets to the library, who will be there waiting for him but our own missing major?
Oh, I get it.
Noelle's eyes grow wide as she marvels at Hazama's powers of deduction. He sighs. Their partnership is no great meeting of the minds.
Guess I'll be thinking for two on this assignment. Well, how about we go hunting for information? The afternoon's still young. If his previous attacks are any indication, Ragna the Blood Edge will probably strike our facility under the cover of night. And Jin doesn't strike me as the sort who'd get into position needlessly early. I don't think anything's going to go down until the sun sets. That's good, frankly, because we're not the only pieces on the board. We might have a few guest appearances, so to speak.
Do you mean Sector 7?
I don't think they have the self-restraint to sit this one out. If they're involved, this mission's bound to get a lot more complicated.
Sector 7 and the hero of Ikaruga?
There's nothing linking them, not officially at any rate. But if there is a connection, we'll find it.
Wow, they're not kidding when they call you guys the intelligence department.
Don't look too impressed. It's all included in the report.
Huh? Oh,
The report which you never read, judging from the deer in the headlights expression. Tisk tisk, Lieutenant. Maybe you should have spent the flight over here boning up on the particulars of the case, instead of snoring.
I was, saving up my strength for this super rigorous assignment. Yeah, that's it. Besides, you were asleep the whole time too, Hazama.
What are you talking about? I didn't sleep a wink.
But I could have sworn I saw you.
Why would I lie about something like that? My eyes were wide open, just like they are now. See?
But your eyes look shut. I'm confused.
Truth be told, you didn't sleep all the way over here. I seem to recall you conveniently waking up just in time to tear through lunch and dessert. If you keep on this regimen of nothing but sleep and food, you might just fill out a bit.
Leave me alone! This coming from the man who eats nothing but hard-boiled eggs!
At least I wasn't doubling down on the pudding. And what's wrong with eggs anyway?
Swallowing them whole is just... weird.
Listen, you culinary Philistine. In the hands of a master, the hard-boiled egg is a work of art.
Work of art? Come on, it's an egg. I just don't understand Hazama sometimes.
I could talk about them forever, but you don't seem very receptive. Shall we get to work then?
Yeah! We're collecting information until the sun goes down, right?
Indeed. I'll see what I can learn amid the higher levels of the city. You don't mind taking the middle and lower levels, do you?
You mean, we need to split up?
Kagutsuchi's not exactly a one-horse town. If we stick together, this'll take even longer. I'll do what I do best, and you go down there and, try hard. A for effort, as they say.
I'll do my best, Captain.
Good luck with that, you stammering bobblehead. Why can't they just staff my department properly instead of having a slum for help? I feel like strangling an accountant.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize, my dear. We couldn't do what we do without such generous assistance from the other branches. I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Right.
I'm sure it goes without saying, but all information surrounding Major Kisaragi's disappearance is classified top secret. Loose lips in ships, if you get my drift.
Aye.
Good. Now, how about we rendezvous shortly after sunset? Say 1800 hours? Probably jumping the gun a bit, but it'll give us time to reach the NOL facility.
Rendezvous at 1800 hours. Roger. I guess I'll be going then.
Lieutenant, just one more thing.
Yes?
If you should encounter Ragna the Blood Edge at any point, retreat to safety and notify me ASAP. Do not engage in combat. That's an order.
How come?
I had some intel come in while you were sleeping. A number of NOL soldiers have already tried to subdue him and... well, doctors say they'll all live, but they won't be winning any beauty pageants. I don't want to have to bring you back to headquarters as... checked luggage.
Oh, fair enough.
She's finally out of my hair. They're a real handful at that age.
Hazama shakes his head and pulls his hat down, obscuring his eyes. He stares just under the brim to see Noel dash into the crowd, a girl on a mission.
Now that she's off to the races, I think I'll go see to some errands.
Leaving Hazama at the harbor, Noel heads down into the lower levels of Kagutsuchi. Hierarchical cities are like mountains with trays grafted to the sides at various points along the side. There's a district, a self-contained city unto itself on each tray. The higher the tray, the more affluent and pleasant the district. Being heavier than the air sees it collect closer to the ground. No coincidence then that those with power and wealth cluster near the mountain peaks. Conversely, those who can't afford such luxury find themselves living in the lower district, or even in the slums. But for the moment, Noel finds herself around the middle of Kagutsuchi. The airship harbor feels like a different world compared to her current environs. She begins her search for Jin Kisaragi, but she feels out of place in the unfamiliar town, oddly amiss.
No sign of him. Guess I should have known it wouldn't be that easy. I've never conducted an investigation before. I don't even know where to begin. Like, literally. I can't make heads or tails of this map. Major Kisaragi, why did you run off like that?
Thoughts nibble at her mind as she canvasses the district. Jin Kisaragi was a soldier's soldier, calm, cool and collected, a role model to many an aspiring officer within the Liberian. It was hard to imagine him going AWOL. He was the hero of Ikariga, commander of his own squadron.
How can he have anything to do with Sector 7? He acted so strangely when I gave him those files. Maybe Ragnar the Blood Edge has something to do with this after all. But what?
Her head churned with questions for which she had no answers.
If Ragnar the Blood Edge is in this town, am I gonna randomly run into him? What do I do if he spots me? Hazama told me to run away, but I'm a Praetorian guard, right? If I see him doing something awful, I have to arrest him. Or do I? Come on, Noel. Think! I bet he's like 10 feet tall. Probably has a creepy face, too. Excuse me? Oh boy. I really hope I don't run into him. Excuse me, ma'am. You're Miss Noel Vermillion, are you not? What? Yes, Lieutenant Noel Vermillion, at your service.
Startled at her worried wool gathering, Noel snaps to attention. Standing before her is a bespectacled little boy who seems to stand just shy of foppish.
I thought it was you, Miss Noel.
Miss Noel? Hey, is that... Why, Carl!
Carl Glover, to be specific. He's been a few classes behind Noel and her classmates at the NOL Academy. They haven't seen each other in years, and though Carl has grown quite a bit in interim, he's still pretty much the boy she knew. Noel feels nostalgia wash over her.
Long time no see, as they say. I never expected to bump into you in a place like this, I must admit.
It's been forever, hasn't it? What have you been up to? I mean, you left the academy so suddenly. I was worried about you.
There were pressing matters that needed tending to. That's all. I'm sorry to have worried you.
Oh. All right. So, what brings you to Kagutsuchi? Or are you living here now?
The smile suddenly disappears from Noel's face. Her eyes stray to the gigantic marionette looming behind Carl. Its face is cold and expressionless. The thing isn't a toy. Whatever it is too big, too dangerous.
Carl? What is that?
Huh? Oh, you mean Sis?
Sis?
Yes, this is my big sister Ada. Sis, this is one of my classmates from the academy.
Carl speaks to the doll as though it's made of flesh and blood, and with more warmth than that with which he addressed Noel. A chill goes down Noel's spine. She can't say why exactly, but this doll feels deadly.
Carl? Please don't take this the wrong way, but that isn't...
I already know what you're going to say, but please don't. Ada's very self-conscious about her looks.
Yeah, you guessed it. So, how about you tell me what you're up to? Maybe I can help you out.
Do you really mean that? Gosh, Miss Noel, that'd be splendid. You can start by telling me anything you know about Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Ragnar the Blood Edge? You've heard of him?
But of course. Oh, right. I haven't told you yet. I've become a vigilante since last we met.
What now?
A vigilante, a bounty hunter, in the common parlance, though their activities are sanctioned by NOL's high command, and they're reimbursed accordingly. Vigilantes are slipping into Kagutsuchi by the hour, each hoping they'll be the one to capture Ragnar the Blood Edge and lay claim to the huge reward. Carl is undoubtedly the youngest of the bunch, though.
I need to capture this Grim Reaper fellow, and to do that, I'm going to need every scrap of intel the NOL has on him.
Carl beams up at Noel, excited by his newfound source of information, but she can't return his gaze. He's polite, well-spoken, poised to a fault, but deep down there's something about him that's off somehow.
But why?
It's a bit strange, really. Ragnar the Blood Edge is always attacked without warning, but this time, the streets are abuzz with news of his arrival. Have been for a while now. It seems as though somebody knew he was coming, and that they wanted it to be common knowledge. But why leak a bombshell like that, if not to conceal something else? I'll admit I had my doubts, but seeing all the armed guards around town, and now running into you, I'm sure of it. Something's afoot in Kagutsuchi, something big. There are only a few organizations with the clout to pull a stunt like this.
Carl smiles and looks into Noel's eyes once again. His owlish gaze has NOL written all over it.
Carl,
I don't know what exactly is going on or why, but adding another piece of the puzzle to my repertoire can't hurt, right?
I can't tell you anything, Carl. If you want information, you need to submit an official request to an NOL office like everyone else. I'm sorry, but that's the law.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Have you ever thought about going back to the academy? You are one of the top students in your class. If you go back now, I'm sure you'll be caught up in no time.
I wish it didn't have to come to this, Miss Noel. But if you're going to Stonewall, then you leave me no choice.
The doll behind Carl springs to life, tearing a huge gouge out of the wall with its huge claws. If Noel's reflexes had been any slower, it would have torn her leg from her body. Carl stares at Noel with murderous intent.
Too slow, sis. Good try, though.
Have you lost your mind?
Adults are so unfair, aren't they, sis? They go ahead and do whatever they want, but the moment you need a bit of help, they shut you out.
Carl!
If that's how you're going to be, I'll just have to force the information out of you.
That's not like normal again. Doing this is getting annoying. And sore. Right. Let's do this. I totally don't remember how I'm going to use Noel.
The will bait is
Fuck it.
starting. Rebel 1. Action.
Actual improvising. Improvising is working. Puppeteer, what else can you do?
That's no good, Noel.
Hey! Gotcha. Goddamn unpredictable. Gotcha.
That's no good, Noel. Let's see you
The
dodge
blast of
this.
this game doesn't have to be we have to do it this way.
Please don't resist.
You're a lot better than I thought, Miss Noel.
That's enough, Carl.
It pains me to say it, but I think I need to call it a day. Mark my words, though. I'll be the one to find the Azure Grimoire.
Hey, wait! Azure Grimoire? That was in the report, I think. Ragna has that one. But why would Carl want something like that?
Noel should chase Carl down and wring the answers out of him, but her legs can't be bothered. She's too tired, too sad. Her heart sinks like a leaden weight on her chest. She bites her lip as tears well up in her eyes.
Oh, Carl. What happened to you?
He had been such a friendly child, so lovable and innocent. Back at the academy, Noel's circle of friends had drafted him into group assignments many a time. But now this?
Everything is changing.
Everything around me. My old academy friends.
I want to go back. Back to when we were in school.
She longed for a return to those simpler days. There had been hard times to be sure, but her years at the academy were Noel's most treasured treasure. Yeah, it said most cherished treasure, but you get the gist.
Come on, Noel. Rub it up, Dad. Time for the grub. Tsubaki's already at the cafeteria, you know? Coming. Just give me a sec, okay? What's up, Slowpoke?
No, it's just... Tsubaki asked me to take care of these papers. They're for the student council meeting or something.
Ooh, thrilling. Now double time, soldier. We're gonna miss lunch.
Makoto, wait up!
The Noel Academy does nothing in half measure. As such, their school cafeteria was nothing to turn one's nose up. Still, big as it was, the cavernous cafeteria wasn't big enough to seat all the Academy students at once. The lines for the food vendors were always long. If you didn't get a spot early on, you were liable to run out of time before you reached the front.
Well, so much for eating, huh?
I'm really sorry, Makoto.
I don't see any lunch in our future. But no worries, Noel. Not your fault.
Hey, Makoto! Noel!
Tsubaki! There you are!
What took you guys so long? Anyway, here, dig in.
Stop the presses! Is this the melon cream bread that I love so completely? And these walnut danishes. Did you buy these for us?
Yeah, the cafeteria was a madhouse today. I figured I'd better get you something just in case. Are you okay with that sandwich, Noel?
Am I ever? Thanks so much, Tsubaki.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! Oh man, having smart friends rocks.
Come on, Makoto. It's nothing to cry about. Stop being so dramatic.
Missing lunch is kind of dramatic.
Totally. And not only did I not miss lunch, I'm chowing down on my favorites. How do you rock so hard, Tsubaki? Damn, you're awesome!
Still holding the bread in a grip that even death could not sever, Makoto swoops Tsubaki up in a big bear hug.
A big old kiss from my bestest friend. Mwah!
I'm starting to think you only love me for my cream bread. I don't think we're gonna find a free table in here. Wanna go outside?
Lead on, oh supplier of snacks. So sweet. This is heaven.
Everything looks delicious when you eat it, Makoto.
I feel all warm and fuzzy inside just watching you eat.
No, guys, for reals. This bread is the culmination of my entire life up to this moment. The fluffy bread outside, the melon-tacular cream within. Oh, it's sweet like melon, but not too sweet, you know. Bury me in this bread. Not when I'm dead even. Now!
That sounds morbid and messy.
I'm just glad the two of you are happy.
Tsubaki, I almost forgot. Here are those documents you asked for.
Oh, thanks, Noel. Sorry I'm always asking you for help with stuff.
No, I'm glad to. I just hope I didn't make any mistakes.
Let's see.
Tsubaki quickly flipped through the stack of paper Noel's handed her. Right then, a sudden gust of wind pulls a few pages out from her grasp. Makoto leaped into the air and snatched a few of the papers away from the wind, all in the blink of an eye. Noel copied Makoto to less spectacular effect. She reaches for the last stray sheet, but it slipped right between her fingers, still aloft. In that instant, Noel lost her balance.
Huh? Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... Ah! Mr. Kisaragi!
Jin?
Oh my god, are you okay, Mr. Kisaragi?
Jin caught both the falling Noel and the errant paper. He shot a chilly look to the former, though. Cowed by his presence, all Noel could do was stammer.
I mean, I'm so sorry. Are you hurt, or...
Here.
Jin brushes past Noel and hands the paper back to Tsubaki.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jin.
The wind's really strong out here. I suggest you be more careful.
I will.
Sorry to interrupt your lunch.
I never imagined in a million years that Jin was gonna come waltzing through our lunch. That was intense. Right, Noel?
Yeah.
Crap! Lunch is almost over! No time to chew, ladies!
Ew. Stupid.
Hey, don't hate!
All this paperwork was for Jin! Why didn't I just give it to him then?
Oh, that's too bad.
Hey! You want me to pounce on it? You'll never see me coming. I'll just be all BAM! Squirrel power!
Thanks, but no. I'll do it myself. He couldn't have gone far.
Hey, if you need squirrel power, just holla.
See you later.
Jin! Wait up! Oh, I didn't think I was gonna catch up to you.
Tsubaki, what's wrong? Why'd you come running up?
All those papers, I was supposed to give them to you.
You chased me down for that? They're not that important, are they?
Well, no point waiting until later, I figured. Here you go.
Thanks, I think. But really, running indoors, probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just be a little more careful next time, alright? This conversation isn't over yet, is it?
You know, you could stand to be a bit nicer to Noel.
Not this again.
You told me before that I was just imagining things, but just now Did something happen between you two?
No, nothing.
Be straight with me, Jin. We've known each other since we were children. And Noel's been a good friend of mine ever since we started at the academy. I don't want any...
Tsubaki, stop. I know you're worried, but it's nothing, really. I'm just not good at being around her. That's all.
Well, okay then.
Anyway, thanks for these. I should be going. Oh, Tsubaki, one more thing.
Yes?
I'm serious about that whole running indoors thing. I don't need it on my conscience if you go craning off a wall or something.
Oh, right. Right!